I need for you to say that again.
Woman being beaten by boyfriend, rescued by dinosaur, tiger, and cowboy furries. Didn't even know what that meant.
You wait until Lifetime gets a hold of this story.
It's coming.
It's coming. And this was interesting. So first you have this this intervention of superheroes, which is always an exciting and encouraging thing to see regular citizens stepping into the face of danger.
Regardless of dress.
Regardless of dress. But it's because of their dress that made these superheroes in particular exciting. They were furries.
And I mean... At first, I didn't even, I'm like, what? They were dressed as furry. And apparently this is like a subculture. Mm-hmm. This is like a real thing. And it's, they were at a convention in San Jose, California.
Called Further Confusion.
Further Confusion, which is awesome. And they're just a group of people that enjoy dressing as anthropomorphic animals. And there was mobile phone footage. You found a video. I didn't even see the video.
Saw the video. So let's want to talk about these furries and the conference and the convention and this whole other world out here that we are not a part of, but just excited that they exist and we have questions. Cool. But this gentleman who was being a brute and was being abusive to his partner, and he pulls over to the side or at a stoplight, however these heroes were able to literally snatch him out of the car and walloped him. And they were in their costumes. And so he's been arrested, and I just want him, I'm just excited that he has to explain, one, how he got caught, two, he got beat down by some folks in furry costumes, and three, whatever help he needs to get to keep his hands to himself. And I hope that his partner is okay as well.
He has to go see a furry psychiatrist now. To teach him a lesson.
Getting this together.
Reform him.
But check this out. So this got us both talking about, yes, we're glad that he has his just due and these superheroes, but furries. I know me personally. For me, the only context, and I knew it was limited, so I'm saying that out loud. So I did some reading to broaden that. But my context initially was it was a fetish, that it was a fringe.
Same here. Isn't that sad? That's the first place I went. It's some kind of sexual thing. And I'm not judging. I'm just saying.
No, that's where I thought it was.
It must be a sexual thing.
I was able to go to this Further Confusion website. Again, this is the name of the conference, and if you're looking at this image, this is like there's almost 650 people in these different costumes. But furry is a term that's used to describe a particular category of fictional animal. We accept to use furry. So Roger Rabbit, Bugs Bunny, and Mickey Mouse are funny animals.
Right.
They're anthropomorphic. This means they behave like people, and they can be considered like a cartoon equivalent of a character actor. But on the other hand, Omaha the Cat Dancer, Usagi Yojimbo, I'm sure I butchered that, I'm sorry, and the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are furries, even though turtles don't have fur. And they're considered furries because they're more realistic than the funny animals are, and they behave more like crosses between humans and animals. And they're actually these full, well-rounded characters. So in reading about how and why folks get involved in this work, it is dressing up. So I kind of have come to equate it to folks that go to Comic-Con. Yeah. You have a character that you are a fan of. You have a place you get to go and dress outside of the norm. You are in this community of people that are falling into stories, are having the fun of getting dressed up, and you're just outside of your everyday. So I'm thinking, there's something here. And it's definitely not just like we were thinking, this fringe element. There's a really deeper community commitment to this thing.
Well, that's obvious. And I will say this. This is why I love Dasha. I sent you the link to this article, and you researched it to the point where you were an expert on this now.
I'm an expert. I'm ready.
Dug into this, and I love that. So we have someone who knows a lot more about this than us that we'll talk to right after the break. But we have more furry talk right here on WTMJ Nights.
Right here in Wisconsin.
You're listening to WTMJ Nights.
Welcome back to the program. We are talking fur. And We have a special guest as promised, don't we, Dasha?
We do. We were looking at a story about an incident that happened. An incident, I love it. News reporting today, an incident of furry beatdown happened in San Jose. But the furry community has a number of conventions, and Wisconsin has one of, I would say the most, as I'm studying, the most renowned conferences in the country.
That I did not know. Is that right?
I didn't either. Wisconsin's on all the best lists. So look at this. So the marketing directors for Fur Squared. Get it? Instead of Fur Squared. Fur Squared is coming up in a couple of weeks in Brookfield. So the marketing director is Morgan Wolf and Simon Fox. We got Moo Law Goat as a hotel director. Oops the Bunny and Smack Jackal are the business directors. And we have the conference chair on the phone, Mr. Draggor Zippy Tanks. That has made my entire day.
Draggor, welcome to WTMJ Nights.
Hello.
So my first question.
We're both smiling. You need to know this first.
Yeah, my first question is.
Good. I am too.
Oh, good. You sound like you're smiling though. We're more curious. I'm just. Why does this? How did this come to be? Why? Why is this happening? Please enlighten us.
What are we missing?
Well, for Fur Squared in particular, this is going to be our 7th year. So we've been going for a little while, making our dent in our corner of the world. I mean, at a base level, it's fun. I was listening a little bit. In the comparison to Comic-Con, there's a lot of overlap there. Mm-hmm. Several furries go to Comic-Cons and anime cons and vice versa. There's a kinship to it. At a base level, for anyone who dresses up, anyone can see and respect that effort can go into that. Mm-hmm. Anyone who walks around and goes to a Comic-Con, you can be wowed by some of the people that just make this stuff at home. So the do-it-yourself craftness is especially exemplified and celebrated in furry. So that's like just a very base level why of just how fun it can be that way.
What for you is the distinction? So do you do Comic-Con and anime as well?
Nowhere near as much, but I have been to them. I have costumed at them.
What makes furries your preferred outing?
At a base level, Comic-Cons or anime cons, those are about other people's creations. At furry, it's ours. So in this weird way, yeah, you're being a character, but you also get to be yourself in the best way possible. It doesn't matter who you are or where you came from. It's kind of like you get this from scratch opportunity, and it really is what you make it.
Literally what you make it.
Do you kind of prejudge people based on their fur or their costume? I'm really serious. Like, there's another squirrel, or he must be like this, or she must be. Seriously, is it costume?
At a surface level, those jokes are very well apparent, and most of the time adoringly used. Yeah. No one really is actually taking any of those prejudices to heart, I hope. Mm-hmm. But, if you're on stage, sometimes it's tempting to make a bad dog comment if there is especially a dog fursuiter in front of you.
It was right there. What are we supposed to do, leave that joke on the stage? It was there.
And you got a dog there who soils the carpet, and he's not really a dog. That's a problem, right?
We definitely want to get an understanding, not an understanding, but I'm excited to know more than what we thought we did. It's what we get up every day for. So we're going to go to the break, but if you can stay with us and give us an idea, A, what happens at the conference, and secondly, we know that we have listeners that are so excited to have more information. We want to let them know how they can join you in February. Will that be okay?
Can you stick around?
Sure thing. Absolutely.
Perfect. All right, so we will have more. Tell me his name again. It's Draggor. Draggor. Oh, see, he's going to be with us. Draggor Zippy Tanks. He will be with us after the break. Right now it's the bottom of the hour, and we will go to the WTMJ Breaking News Center with Tony Betta.
Now, more of WTMJ Nights.
Down to the home stretch here on WTMJ Nights. We are talking furry. I don't know how else to say it, right? Dasha, am I getting that right?
We got it right. So we've done our research, and the terminology is correct. We are talking about furries. It is a convention. It's a community. It is a way, I won't say a way of being, but definitely a dimension of how...
It's an escape, maybe.
It's an escape.
People dress as their favorite furry creatures, and We have a guest on the phone with us right now. He was with us before the break, and he stuck around. Draggor Zippy Tank.
That's right.
Is with us. Are you still with us?
Yeah, I am.
Perfect. Thanks again for sticking around through the break.
You're welcome.
This is enlightening. You're educating us too, because I've heard of like clown conventions and stuff like that. This is the first I've heard of this, and what a great way to hear about it. Three of your brethren, or sisters, I should say, come to this defense of this woman being abused by her boyfriend. So pretty cool press for you guys, right?
Yeah, it was quite the fascinating headline that got shared fairly quickly.
Oh, you sound suspicious, Draggor. That was like.
You leave their social media strategy alone right now. You leave them alone. But it gave us an opportunity to...
there is no coordination. That's part of what's fun about the whole thing is everyone's got equal opportunity to Twitter just like the rest of us.
That's great.
But, a good Samaritan's a good Samaritan. And if they happen to be dressed in an animal costume, you just got a great story out of a bad situation, I guess.
Just one.
Absolutely.
And it gave us a chance to get directed to you. So to find that we have this community, I mean, it's everywhere, but there's a strong community that's here in Wisconsin, and there's a convention that's coming up. So for a person like myself, who would be considering such a unique experience, how could a first-timer, what could we expect from the conference, and how could a first-timer prepare?
So we actually get a bunch of first-timers that show up every year, anywhere from folks who just were in the hotel the previous year and wanted to come back, to families that hear about it and want to show up. Most conventions, ours included, have a schedule. We have a series of panels that are put on by us. It's by our own attendees. And there's all sorts of things. Some of them are informative. Some of them are entertainment. Some of them are meet and greets. So furry by itself is not all-encompassing. So it's not uncommon to see things like, technical furs meet and greet. There's actually quite a lively ham radio set of furries that show up. So there's a meet and greet and a couple of panels for them at
Those
Fur
are some
Squared
serious
every year.
subcultures within the furries.
Yeah.
That's really, wow. Okay, so... all right, so
I was going to say music and dancing is actually pretty big. So there's actually dance competitions that happen, and there will be one at our event as well.
What's a website for people to get
The
information?
The website is fursquared.com.
That's easy. Fursquared.com. I love it. So, Draggor, let me now this, I'm not making light, but this is something a lot of people don't know about. Let's say you meet a girl or a guy. I don't know much about you, but this is, you have to drop this on them at some point. Is this a first date conversation, or do you kind of wait before you drop this into someone's lap?
I don't know. You're talking to someone that has pretty openly worn this on his sleeve. It could potentially come out when I first meet someone. I'm very proud of the fact that our event, we also have a local charity. So we raise money for charity every year, both by our attendees and by the people that show up and want to give a little bit extra.
And this year is the Humane
my
Society.
job is aware of this.
How did I not know about this?
Right, exactly. We're missing out. So they're raising money for the Waukesha Humane Society. Is that right?
Yeah, Haws. They are dear friends and family.
When you say dear, you mean D-E-A-R.
Oh, see, it was
correct?
right there. It was right there. It was right
you
there.
caught me.
Draggor, do fights ever break out?
There's disagreements. I can't say I've ever witnessed a fight myself.
All right.
Loud voices, and then people realize where they are and chill out.
Like any lively group of humans having a great time together.
That sounds pretty cool.
Before we let you go, and again, for people to kind of get an insight on, oh, that's exactly what I thought it was, or, oh, this is exactly what I didn't even know I needed to know about
Sounds
this
interesting,
experience.
yeah.
That definitely. So knowing that we're giving this information to the people, we're excited about that. And before we let you go, what's one thing that, now that you have this, that you have our ear, what are we misunderstand? What are we missing? What do you want to say to the good folks about this community, about the convention, about the joy you have? Just give us one more parting thought.
You kind of saw it from the news story, and it's not just kind of a random event. We really do care about each other and about each other's ability to be themselves. We are very welcoming in a way that a lot of people don't encounter, unfortunately, as often as perhaps one would like in day to day. So come and check us out. You know, we're chill, we're weird, we're fuzzy, we're scaly, but we're welcoming above all else.
Weird in a good way, and fursquared.com is the website, right?
Yes.
February 14th through 16th at the Sheraton in Brookfield. Thank you so much for joining us on such short notice, and I hope everyone is thinking about your DIY fur.
Thanks a lot, Draggor. Have
Thank
a great
you.
night.
Thank you very much.
You got it. I wonder if any of them hunt. That would be weird, wouldn't it?
Oh,
I can't imagine that happening.
Probably not.
All right, good stuff. We are rolling through topics. I don't know. We've got to get some. I have heard of clown conventions like that, and I didn't know this existed.
This is a thing.
I am curious.
I am right
what
now.
What would you
going
dress
through,
as?
I don't know, but I know it would be. I am right now imagining.
Yeah.
So I'm a DIY girl already.
Yeah.
This is not what I needed to have in my head walking through Michael's. Yeah, I'm gonna take 7 bolts of the furry fuchsia and all of those buttons, and I'm gonna go home and just hand stitch something. I don't know.
If there was a convention of people seeking Bigfoot right down the hall, and a Bigfoot mixed up with this could be pandemonium. It's something you got to see, though. All right, we'll have more at WTMJ Nights in just a couple minutes.